The Mark 7 is confirmed, the Silent Shadows make their appearance, and Season 3 for MCC is on the way with customizable elites. Let's get into it, it's Halo news. What's up guys, it's me and Lucky B, and honestly it's great to be back making another one of these videos, and there's just so much news to cover at the moment. Honestly, I don't know where to start. I think we should start with the Halo Infinite news because there is one piece of armour which I have been thinking about for quite a while and it's just been confirmed. So as quite a few of my friends in my social circle know, I have been talking about the Mark 7 for at least a few months really. I've been looking back and thinking, hey, what armour could we get in Halo Infinite? What would be a cool piece of armour that we could get for the 152 rank in Halo 5? If you don't know what the 152 rank is, basically in Halo 5 the max rank you could achieve was 152 and there's meant to be a really cool reward which was meant to be coming with it. I was working on a video for that and well, let's just put it as the Mark 7 was one of the rewards which I thought players should get. A super advanced piece of armour which just, honestly, it's super rare. There's only one Spartan who I believe has it. I think the Spartan who has it has the tag 010, and I think that's Naomi actually, but she's the only one who's been wearing the Generation 1 Mark 7 armour. Now in Halo 5 we got the Decimator armour, which was basically the one which looked like Noble 6's armour, and that was apparently the Mark 7 Generation 2, or kind of like a prototype for it. I'm not too sure, but the main thing is the Generation 3 armour, which a lot of Spartans are going to be getting, including Chief, has the Mark 7 attached to it, and it's just fantastic to see. Now nothing is confirmed with this next point, but I actually believe that this is going to be the armour which our multiplayer Spartans are going to be wearing from day one. Now obviously I'm not too sure. Generally with 343 games we've had the recruit armour, which is, you know what, it gets the job done. It's not too flashy, it's not too anything, it's just a recruit armour. But honestly I think we're going to be getting a change because we're going from Gen 2 to Generation 3. And honestly this armour looks absolutely fantastic. It's almost a shame, do you know what I mean? It's almost a shame that this beautiful looking armour is going to be made available to everyone. But again, let's keep this in mind, nothing has been confirmed, we don't actually know if we're going to be starting off with this, but let's just sit back and admire how beautiful this looks. I mean, just the helmet alone. Just look at that beautiful helmet, it just, it is a combination of some of my favourite helmets, the Mark 5B, the Mark 5 and even the Mark 6, it just looks beautiful. And I also feel like there's a bit of the Commando, you know, the Reach Commando helmet thrown in there, so you know what, this is definitely a helmet which has had a lot of thought and care put into it, so Mark 5, absolutely beautiful. This is another great job done by 343 Industries. Now with this next bit of news, I do not want to go on about it too much because there has been one bushy eyebrowed YouTuber going on about it for about, what, a year or two? Of course I am on about Hidden Xperia, and he has loved the Silent Shadow, he has wanted to see these guys in, and honestly, the Silent Shadow does not disappoint. I wasn't too hyped about these guys, but now, oh my god, I cannot wait to face off against them. So on screen right about now you should actually be able to see one of these new elites. Now this is one of the Hands of Atriox. We don't actually know what this group is, but I believe, going off Game of Thrones logic, this is going to be somebody who's very close to Atriox, the commander. I don't think he's going to be second in command, however I do believe Decimus was second in command and he got killed in the Halo Wars 2 story. In fact, thinking back to it, there was actually a brute who I believe we was calling Hypervius, I'm not too sure if that's been confirmed, but we actually saw him and he had this emblem on his face and this elite has it on him as well. So let's try and get into the funny segment where I try and pronounce this elite's name and get it completely wrong. So this elite is called Jaeger R. Diomni. I do not know if that's correct, it sounds cool enough, let's just call him Jaeger. But yeah, looking at Jaeger, there's just so many amazing features to him. I mean, okay, he does look like the edgy insurrectionists of the clan community, but honestly, just look at him, he's got so many cool elements to him. He's got a bright red energy sword, looks absolutely fantastic, I love variants of the energy sword. He's got a robot arm as well, you know, he's got so many kind of cybernetic features to him. It's just really cool to see, and I also like the red spikes, although it looks really edgy. But honestly, this elite just looks absolutely fantastic, and reading into the lore, we can actually find a little bit about him. So reading into the lore, we find out that this is actually a very high value headhunter for Atriox, and he's actually hunted Spartans before, so I'm guessing this guy's going to be hunting Master Chief. There's also stuff to do with an experiment and an ambush gone wrong, so who knows, maybe this elite was actually on the Infinity trying to get Chief and all the other Spartans and something went wrong so he lost his arm and then he was, experimented on to try and fix him. Now of course I'm reading between the lines on this one, but I mean, I'm getting so many Halo Reach vibes. If you remember those Zenith class elites who was basically hunting the Spartans like all of Noble Team, imagine those but with cybernetics like the Spartans. This is kind of what this elite is, and honestly it's going to be giving Chief a really good fight if these two do face off. And honestly, it's so surprising to see how much love 343 are putting into the Banished. And, that love just wasn't there with things like the Prometheans. It's great to see them putting in the extra little bit of effort because people are going to start loving the Banished, and honestly, I think I already am in love with them. I cannot wait for Halo Infinite just to actually fight off against these enemies. It's a weird way of showing love, shooting the enemies, but it's what we've done with the Covenant. It's how we express it, man. And honestly, 343 Industries, amazing job with this one. I absolutely love it, and I'm sure so many fans do as well. But moving away from Halo Infinite for now, let's actually go on about MCC because we have found out a few details about Season 3. Now honestly, these seasons have been absolutely amazing, and I love what they're doing. I love that you can revisit old seasons, but I need to give you a quick alert because if you have not got the seasonal rewards like the Arachnophobia skull or the golden weapon skins for Halo 1, then you better get on it because as soon as Season 2 is over, you will not be able to get these items anymore. Well, that's a half-truth at the very least. You're not going to be able to unlock them the way that you have been able to, but they might actually make an appearance in later seasons down the line. It's a little bit confusing, 343 haven't really told us what they mean by that, but what I think they mean is the Acrophobia skull, which is the one which basically gives you a jetpack in Halo 3. I think what they'll do is they'll add that as a unlockable reward somewhere in Season 3, just so you can get that and so you can basically enjoy these skulls which other players are going to have. So as a little bit of advice for those who might not have the Acrophobia skull and really want to get it and they're worried that it might not pop up in Season 3, here's my recommendation on how you can get it a little bit quicker. So one of the more obvious ways, and definitely one of the slower ways of doing it, is going on to the last mission of Halo 3 and basically being a gunner whilst you let your teammate drive through the entire Warthog Run segment and try and take out as many Sentinels as possible. But a quicker way is to actually load up a mission 2, make sure you grab a fuel rod when the base is exploding. Now you will come to a door where there's a bunch of drones, now you just shoot the fuel rod at the drones, take out a few of them and then restart the checkpoint, and you'll be able to do it in about, 10 minutes? It's an easy way of doing it and I definitely recommend it because I don't actually know if this skull is going to be making an appearance in later seasons, so just get it now, that's my best advice to you, and make sure you get some weapon skins because if you're a completionist like me, you will regret not getting them later. But enough of the old, let's get in with the new because there are so many things coming in Season 3. Let's start off with the basics. One of the more notable things that we're going to be getting is visor colours for Halo 3. Now, this is absolutely fantastic for 343 to go above and beyond and add more levels of customization, which they really didn't need to add, but you know what, it's really cool to see they're adding visor customization, and you're also going to be able to get weapon skins for Halo 3 weapons now, which, I mean, I'm okay on the weapon skins idea, it's a little bit iffy, at least in my opinion, but it's going to be cool to see these coming out. Really, it just allows players to express themselves more in a way which they want to, and I know that there's some purists who are saying how dare you temper my game with weapon skins and new visor colours, but you know what, this is a little bit of a cool thing, at least in my opinion. Really, this just shows 343 setting the standard for customization a ton higher, which is actually pretty strange when you think that they might be getting rid of emblems in Halo Infinite. If you want to see more on that, make sure you check out our last video where we talk about the new banners which are coming in Halo Infinite. Now for anybody who enjoys Halo 2 Anniversary, I know I'm one of them, if you've tried to customize your Spartan you might realise that there's like 3 sets of armour which you can have, and really only the Mark V is the appealing one. It's also the same for elites. Elites have about 3 different customization options and they have to pick the full armour. Well, the great news is for all you H2A players, we are going to be now able to customize our Spartan a little bit more. We'll be able to change our chest piece, we'll be able to change our shoulder pads and also our helmet, but you know what, it's not that great. There's only a few like different options which you can pick, and I think I'm still going to be sticking with the Mark VI, but who knows, hopefully they add a few pieces of armor to Halo 2 Anniversary because they are adding armor to Halo Reach. No, you weren't dreaming, they are adding new armour to Halo Reach. Now this was rumoured quite a while back, but nothing came with it, and honestly a lot of people was like, 343 you led us on. Well, 343 are delivering with brand new armour, brand new helmets coming to Halo Reach. Now, as a Reach fan, I personally cannot wait for these armors to come out. I'm looking forward to it. I love Reach, it's got some of the best customization, so I cannot wait to see how they add these new helmets. Hopefully when they add the new helmets, they make sure that they add the little bits, like maybe you can put an extra camera on, or maybe you can add a little bit to your helmet somewhere. You know, this standard stuff that you expect from Halo Reach, just those amazing little details which add personalization to your Spartan. I really hope that they do that because it is Halo Reach, that's what it's known for. And also I really hope that they don't add new visors to Halo Reach, or at the very least if they do it's not like bright purple ones, because well, no offense, I do like the visors in some of the other games, but can you not touch Halo Reach? I think Halo Reach has enough visors as it is. Give it to Halo 4, Halo 4 needs that. Halo 4 already had that, and now we're stuck with a red visor in Halo 4. And speaking of Halo 4, it does look like the Halo 4 update is going to be on the way. We're not too sure what they're going to add. Hopefully they add things like the Mark V helmet back, because that just was non-existent. Things like the ODST shoulder pads and all these cool little poses. In fact, I'd love for them to add the poses back, because that was one of the greatest things about Halo 4, adding personality to Spartan. But yeah, the update is on the way. There's also Halo 3 ODST, which seems to be doing well, if I haven't mentioned that already. They are basically removing a ton of the bugs, which is great, and yeah, that is almost everything for today. But there's one little bit more which I have to mention, which I'm like, you know what, 343, you're going above and beyond, I love what you're doing, and that is with the Halo Reach Elites. Now, in Halo 3, the Elites had quite a decent level of customization, with I think there being about 5 different armor unlocks that you can get and customize completely. That's just Halo 3 stuff, you know, the Elites didn't need that level of customization, but they added it anyway. And then Bungie decided, you know what, let's just give you a preset one in Halo Reach, because why not? So 343 have basically said, you know what, we'll tell you why not. We are going to be adding customization for the Halo Reach Elites, and honestly, I haven't seen this, but I think it is going to look absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to see this. I think that Halo Reach has got some of the greatest support for the Sanghini community on there, especially with that being the last game where the Sanghini were, well, playable. So it's absolutely fantastic to see that they're adding more customization. I'm going to be a little bit confused to see people with like a, you know, bright yellow kind of helmet, if that makes sense, because you could get the yellow highlights and then you could get the bright blue shoulder pads and body. It's going to be some mixed match stuff going on, but you know what? I'm happy to see customization going on. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the Sanghini community, generally because they're kind of like the weird kid who's playing with like Digimon whilst everyone else had Pokemon. But you know what? I'm happy for the Sanghini community in this one, especially on Halo Reach, because you know what? You deserve this, guys. I'm glad that you are getting something for you, and honestly, just so much more personality to Elites. I love that they are adding so much personality into Halo again. And damn, that's about it. That's all the Halo news which we've got. I've probably forgot something. I hope I haven't, but yeah, there's so much Halo news going on at the moment. Hopefully I can take a little bit of a break, and I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and please do consider subscribing, or at the very least leaving a like on this video if you made it this far. Thanks for watching again, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.